So this one's gonna be again about healthy eating, health, and from the jamesclear.com website. So yeah. Once again, the fucking intro is not working. But yeah, without the intro also being said, hello, welcome back to the next episode of the Self-Development with Tactics fucking podcast. I do just remember, which I'm going to do quite afterwards, is that I do just have to close my fucking windows, because if I'm not doing this, there are gonna be just some really loud fucking trafficy sounds from cars and whatever that are just really in front of my fucking window. But yeah, I hope you're doing well. I'm doing fucking well. I read there another car. I'm really fucking pumped to be here, and it's just amazing. And I'm actually recording only one episode today. The other one I've recorded yesterday. So actually yesterday I've been recording 3 episodes. And it went amazingly great. Everything was fine. I haven't been feeling stressed out or something. Everything has been good, which is amazing. And yeah, as you have might heard also in the intro, we're going ahead with the James Clear article that we've started about health and healthy eating and tips on healthy eating and all these very, very, very good stuff. So yeah, I hope, no, it's obviously not there. I could have thought about it, I guess. Now it's there. Which is amazing. We are actually nearly finished with this one, or we have nearly finished with this one. The last point, which is actually the third one, is what we're going to go through today, which is how to stick to a healthy eating habit. But before we're starting, I'm just actually having to close the windows. The windows. I do just have to close the windows. I'm doing amazing. I'm really fucking happy to be here. It's just amazing. It really is. I'm really happy. But what I remember right now is that I might actually turn on the TV and put on some white shit so that I'm a little bit brighter, a little bit more lit up, a little bit more lip dab. Oh God. I'm sorry. So how to stick to a healthy eating habit. And I think this is, the most tough thing about actually just, eating healthy, I guess, is really sticking to it. For sure you can eat some healthy shit for 1 day, for 2 days, for a week maybe, but, over a lifetime, it's going to be something completely different. And I hope here's going to just, share some pretty good tips on that so that we all can learn from that and we all can implement them into our lives. What I also remember, and I'm very sorry that I never ever just kind of do everything that I need to do. Like I always just have to do something, like now plug in my fucking PC. But yeah. This is what it is. It really is what it is. Never mind. Now everything is okay. I also just have to plug in the HDMI cable so that my TV is working. We're losing 3 minutes. I think that's quite okay. We haven't lost them. It's just an introduction into the whole thing. You can always talk about things in a positive way, I guess. It's about perspective, It is about perspective. It is about focusing on the good stuff rather than on the bad stuff. And now I'm just really bright and it's not hurting my eyes. It's actually a pretty nice and kind of soft light, I guess, I'm getting from the screen itself, which is great, which is also great for the video, which is great for me because it is not so fucking bright as in the lamp, for example, is like this lamp, even though it does something, it clearly just does something. Maybe I'm just putting it on once again, but I guess not today. I think I'm lit up just enough. Yeah. So actually I think we should just go ahead. So how to stick to a healthy eating habit? Address the root problem of unhealthy eating. There's a reason why many people eat as a way to cope with stress. Stress causes certain regions of the brain to release chemicals, specifically opiates and neuropeptides or neuropeptide Y. These chemicals can trigger mechanisms that are similar to the cravings you get from fat and sugar. In other words, when you get stressed, your brain feels the addictive call of fat and sugar, and you're pulled back to junk food. Most of the time. What I'm seeing there as well, which is something great for me to notice, is for sure, you can also just consume really good fats, like in fruits, not in fruits, but in nuts. And you also can just consume good sugars, which are in fruits or, in vegetables as well. There are quite a lot of sources for good sugars. For good fats, it's, I think, olives as well. But most of the time, it's actually nuts and seeds and something like this. These are just really great fats. And yeah, consume them. And I guess this might just really work for or actually against stress. At least this is what I'm reading there. This is what I'm just... Well, maybe this is just only what I'm reading. Could also be the case. I don't know. So yeah, we all have stressful situations that arise in our lives. Learning to deal with stress in a different way can help you overcome the addictive pull of junk food. This could include simply breathing techniques or a short guided meditation, or something more physical like exercise or making art. I do think, in general, as he also just points out, knowing how to deal with stress yourself is something that's incredibly important, just to feel good, I would say. It is not about, okay, you just have to do it because you have to do it. It's just so that you feel better. So that you just, live a life that's worth living, to live a life that's just amazing, that's nice, that is making you happy. And obviously when we are stressed out, when we are overwhelmed, when we feel stressed out, we are not happy. At least I'm not happy then. And, I think the problem that I'm having with meditation actually is that I do not know how it is without meditation. And I'm not actually going to try it out. Because I kind of do not want to break my habit of, the daily meditation thing that I'm doing. I'm meditating 10 minutes every single day, most of the time before I go to bed. I think this is just the best time for me because in the morning, I do not quite feel like doing it. Sometimes in the evening or actually, at night, it is not the best thing to do actually. Because, often I'm then feeling like, okay, I do want to sleep and I do not want to fucking meditate. This is then fucked up, because I do just really not feel like this and, the concentration isn't there any longer and also the discipline isn't there, as it should be any longer as it would be just, at noon or in the morning and so on. And this could just lead to a pretty bad meditation. Often I get a pretty good one. Sometimes it's bad, often it's bad. Like it's, I think I shouldn't judge it actually. I think I should just do it and be aware of it, use it and try to get better at it and just try to make the whole experience better. But I guess I shouldn't judge it, But I think, these are just examples. But I really believe that there is something everyone can do against stress. Some people might like just to play video games. This might be a thing. Some people might like to just listen to music. This could also be a thing. Like, for sure. Really for sure. And I think this is just really something that you as an individual, have to try out. And then have to see what is the best thing you can do against you feeling stressed out or your stress. So that you're feeling happy again and that you're feeling good again. But yeah, how to say no to temptation. Learning how to say no is one of the most useful skills you can develop, especially when it comes to living a healthy life. Research is starting to show that small changes can make it easier for you to say no, resist temptation, and stick to healthy eating habits. In a research study published in the Journal of Consumer Research, 120 students were split into two different groups. The difference between those two groups was saying I can't compared to I don't, which just means like you're saying like, well, a lot of people say, I can't do this, I can't just eat healthy, I can't do this and I can't do that, but it is rather, or you should rather say, I'm not willing to do this, I don't want to do this, I don't want to eat healthy, I don't want to do this and that, and there seems to be a significant change in just only words, only saying this word or only saying that word. It's just amazing. But I also think in general those words that we are using to talk to ourselves, whether we are talking negatively to ourselves or positively, just also changes a lot. At least this is what I believe. For sure, if I'm telling myself all the fucking time, you piece of shit, just do this, you're so dumb, you're just a really motherfucker. Of course I'm saying this to me. No, but I think there are some people that are saying this to themselves, and obviously, or actually not so obviously, is really bad, because I believe that after some time you're actually believing in what you're saying to yourself, and also what others are saying to yourself. If somebody's telling you that you're a dumb motherfucker or dumb piece of shit, for sure, after 10 years, there might be there might be some slice of you, some really, small bit at least, that is believing in what this person said to you over the past 10 years, which is really bad, and, which is really sad as well. But I guess it is a way, unless you're just really confident and unless you really know, okay, this is who you are and this is who you want to be. Maybe it is just actually the same thing, but you know who you are and you know what you are not. And yeah, and also just trying to not listen to those people that are trying to get you down. In general, I would say we should all feel very sorry for those people that are actually trying to get other people down, because well, what is their life like? Their life just, has to be pretty shitty. If they do just actually feel the temptation to get other people down, to actually make their lives bad or worse, well, yeah, what does that say about their life? It is actually the same thing as those people that are commenting. And actually today was the first day in my whole entire life, where I've actually seen that somebody's actually commenting some really hateful stuff, as a comment under just another people's post or another person's post, which was something that, well, it shocked me some sort of, because I was going through the comments, because I'm not commenting on the post itself. I'm commenting on some comments that I'm seeing there. The good thing about this is that first of all, you're really then commenting just, or you're really quite writing to another person, which just leads them to actually look it up and just see what you have written and whatsoever, which just, actually, lets you have a just really higher chance of getting a reply. And also there's so many people that are commenting. Of course, pretty often it is like just really dumb shit and really unnecessary shit, like self-advertising, or like, okay, that's great. Totally, yes, with some emojis and whatsoever. Most of the time these are bots, and you might know that. But often they are really great comments, And even though the post itself might not be something that you're believing and might not be something that you actually like, there might be a comment that you like, and there might be someone saying something in the comment that is just, well, something that is something that you like. And then it is great, because you can comment on them, you can tell them, okay, I also believe in this and whatsoever. It is quite great. But today, as I went through the comments, I've actually seen just the first time in my entire life someone that actually also meant it. I've also looked up his account. It was just some, well, typical kind of motivational shit, I would say. Someone, which was amazing for me, someone was talking about like, okay, he doesn't get why so many people are just only talking about the millionaires and whatsoever, and that not everyone is just meant to be a millionaire, which is definitely the case, and which is actually, fact, I guess. Not everyone's just meant to be an athlete either. Not everyone's meant to just be a millionaire. Not everyone's meant to be me. Not everyone's meant to just be an author. There are so many things a lot of people are not meant to be, but they are just meant to be someone else or something else, in terms of actually, jobs and whatsoever. And then this certain person said just something like, okay, this is just some dumb shit that you're talking about. I'm gonna buy your whole entire family just dollar on a penny on a dime. Do you say it like this? There's some saying, I don't remember that, when something is then just really cheap. This is the whole takeaway of it. And he just really meant it. And it actually, on this certain post, he was commenting 2 times. And 2 times it was something so hateful and something that was, really hurting people, I guess. At least it might have hurt you. It might have hurt me. Maybe, just in the real first moment. And then I would have thought like, okay, this person's life just really has to be pretty shit. It really has to be bad. And then I would have, I think I would have felt really sorry for this person. Because, yeah, it doesn't seem to be just a life that is worth living, just a life that is great to live. But yeah, let's actually move on. And please don't be a person that is actually commenting some hateful shit. They're actually taking your time out of your fucking day, out of your 24 hours to go on a post that you do not like, consume it, and also then write back a comment on it being just really shit, you don't like the post or whatsoever. Well, what does that say about your life? And also when you're seeing this, don't comment some bullshit like, just shut up or something like this. Feel sorry for them, or maybe show them some love. I don't know. Just really feel sorry for them, I guess. Something that I'm having from Gary Vee, actually. He spread the word and I just really adopted it. It was something that I really felt the same way, and I really understood what he was talking there. But yeah, so the difference between those 2 groups was saying I can't compared to I don't. One group was told that each time they were faced with a temptation, they would tell themselves, I can't do X. For example, when tempted with ice cream, they would say, I can't eat ice cream. When a second group was faced with a temptation, they were told to say, I don't do X. For example, when tempted with ice cream, they would say, I don't eat ice cream. After repeating these phrases, each student answered a set of questions unrelated to the study. Once they finished answering the questions, the students went to hand in their answer sheets, their answer sheets, thinking that the study was over. In reality, it was just beginning. As each student walked out of the room and handed in their answer sheet, they were offered a complimentary treat, actually. The student could choose between a chocolate candy bar or a granola health bar. As the student walked away, the researcher would mark their snack choice on the answer sheet. And then I guess, probably most of the people that are actually listening to this or watching this right now might know, what the whole thing is gonna be about. The students who told themselves, I can't eat X, chose to eat the chocolate candy bar 61% of the time. Meanwhile, the students who told themselves, I don't eat X, chose to eat the chocolate candy bars only 36% of the time. This simple change in terminology significantly improved the odds that each person would make a more healthy food choice. So why does something so small make such a big difference? Which is going to be answered by the next paragraph, I hope, because this is really interesting to see why it is actually the case. Something that I have seen there, or that I'm just seeing there, is that I'm also using the exact same phrasing. I'm not saying like, I can. Sometimes I'm actually saying I can't eat that. I really don't like eating out because most of the time I can't eat stuff. But then when someone's asking me to just eat something or to try something or something like this, I then sometimes say, I don't eat that. I don't eat cheese. I don't eat just meat. I don't eat whatever, for example, now. And, I think, actually, to be real honest, I think I use both terminologies. But I'm still just really kind of, I'm sticking to my healthy eating habits. I'm really doing, because I've understood and I've noticed that when I'm eating healthy, I just feel better. And this is what I'm going for. I'm not going for just having some really great taste in my mouth, on my tongue, for 2 minutes, for half an hour, or whatever it will be. I want to feel good, the whole day long. I don't want to feel filled. I do not want to feel bad for doing something. I do want to feel good in my body, not only mentally, but also physically, and when I'm then ill because I've eaten just like crap for a month long, I'm not gonna be happy if I'm ill. I'm only happy when I just can't do the shit that I'm willing to do. And this really reminds me on something that I think Gary Vee as well said. Happiness for him is doing what he wants, when he wants, with whom he wants, and all those things. Like, you could play this just pretty long, but this is what he thinks. And I guess it is actually the case. And when you're just basically restricting yourself from doing something only because you just really have bad eating habits, and because of those bad eating habits, you're just ill a lot, well then, there's no one to be blamed but you, I guess. And then you're also not happy, I assume. At least I wouldn't be happy. When I'm ill, I'm really not happy. This is just really something that pisses me on so incredibly much. I really hate to be ill, and I guess I've been just ill way too often in my life. And this is the reason why I just hate it so much. Could also be the case, I don't know. The one phrase that will help you eat healthy. Your words help to frame your sense of empowerment and control. Furthermore, the words that you use create a feedback loop in your brain that impacts your future behaviors. For example, every time you tell yourself, I can't, you're creating a feedback loop that is a reminder of your limitations. This terminology indicates that you are forcing yourself to do something you don't want to do. In comparison, when you tell yourself, I don't, you're creating a feedback loop that reminds you of your control and your power over the situation. It is a phrase that can propel. What does propel mean? Propel means a long fishing boat propelled by 6 oars. Push, move, forward, move, set in motion, get moving, and or drive. So it's a phrase that can propel you toward breaking your bad habits and following your good ones. Heidi Grant Helverson is the director of the Motivation Science Center at Columbia University. Here's how she explained the difference between saying I don't compared to I can't. And this is now pretty great because, the first take on this certain question was, I'm very sorry, it was obviously from James Clear himself. And now, you're actually hearing someone that is, a professional in this space and who just knows this space and knows what she's actually talking about, which is nice, which is really nice. I appreciate that, Mr. James Clear. I really do. I don't is experienced as a choice, so it feels empowering. It's an affirmation of your determination and willpower. I can't is a choice, isn't a choice. It's a restriction, it's being imposed upon you. So thinking I can't undermines your sense of power and personal agency. There's the same exact thing as a quote again. So in other words, the phrase I don't is a psychologically empowering way to say no, while the phrase I can't is a psychologically draining way to say no. Perhaps most importantly, a changing language leads to a change in mindset. You can now utilize your new empowered mindset in all future situations, which is why a subtle shift can lead to very different outcomes over the long run. Of course, over the long run, I think there's not going to be just some, maybe even. I just want to say that there might not be some significant change just really in short-term things like over a week, over a day, over 2 days. It's definitely going to be just some long-term shit. It's, I think, also the same thing with, meditation. Meditation is actually one of the things I believe that you really just have to use it long-term. It's not going to be something that's going to help you short-term, at least not as much. For sure, you're going to feel good, you're going to feel relaxed, you're going to feel calm and all these things. But the real benefits of meditation are actually, I think, at least as far as I know, are coming after 6 months of doing it, a year of doing it, even longer or something. And the change you can make with meditation and the things you, or the ways you can benefit from it are actually huge. There's so many things that you're benefiting from, or so many ways you can benefit from, meditation, which is a practice that's not taking you long, but I guess, which is something that's fortunate, it really got a trend, I would say. It is really something that well, all those hipsters are probably doing, all those people that want to be kind of actually hipster, that want to be new, that want to be a certain kind of people. These people are just doing it, and this might actually be very, very good, because this generation then just, well, yeah, they are used to actually meditation. They're gonna teach their children, and well, it might also have something to do with science, because well, yeah, science also just proved all the things that people said about meditation, that it is good, that you can benefit from it, and whatsoever. Something, I guess, not a lot of scientists have been talking about, or have been making research on a few years ago. I think they just did it because meditation got so trendy, so common somehow. Even, I don't know. I am just assuming that. I don't know. I'm really assuming there might have been research on meditation for just hundreds of years, which could also be the case, because we haven't invented the fucking meditation thing in 2019. It's something pretty old. Pretty fucking old. So yeah, where to go from here? I hope you found this short guide on healthy eating useful. If you're looking for more ideas on how to eat healthy, then check out my full list of healthy eating articles below. All Healthy Habits articles. This is a complete list of articles I have written on building healthy habits. So enjoy. It's actually pretty nice, because he is having just so many articles, and they all are so fucking great. As you were able to see with this article, this article as well was so incredibly great, just only for the reason that he actually put some really great stuff in the really end of it, like this woman who is actually just a professional in this certain space. It is something extremely valuable for me to actually know. Okay, this is not only what James Clear is talking about. This is also something that just some professionals are talking about. This is some opinion of professionals, even though are there actually any sources? No, there aren't. Yeah, but I think you can just trust in him, I guess. Yeah, I think so. I might be reading some of these headlines, and there might be just something for you, so check it out then. 10 simple ways to eat healthy without thinking, backed by science. What happens to your brain when you eat junk food? 10 common mistakes that prevent you from being happy and healthy today, backed by science. What I've learned from 2 years of intermittent fasting. Effortless ways to lose weight and eat healthy. Learning from superhumans the incredible fitness and success of Jack LaLanne. Answers to the most common intermittent fasting questions. How to start eating healthy and actually stick to it. 12 lessons learned from 1 year of intermittent fasting. And the beginner's guide to intermittent fasting. I think it actually seems to be the case that intermittent fasting is actually something that's great, I assume. And I think that I'm also going to read just some articles on this certain particular topic, because I'm really not educated in this space, and it would be great if I was. So, well, why not? Why really not? It is something that I think also has been sticking around for quite some while. Still, it is something new, at least just phrased like this, or actually called like this. I think just fasting has always been a thing, only through just religions, for example. There are also a lot of religions, whether it be Islamic or the Islam, or I think it's Islam more than Islam, or something like this. Then obviously just Catholics or just Christians. I don't know. Never mind. There's always going to be some fasting there, I think, and also just probably in other religions as well. Buddhism might also be some fasting implemented in this, but I don't know. And I think there might just be some reason for that, and not only some religious reasons, or not some reasons just because, okay, yeah, we have Easter, so let's just fast because it is Easter. I guess, there has to be some reason behind it, I guess. And I think people have thought about why other people should be doing this, and also, well, it got implemented into their whole religion, I guess. I think so. But yeah, I wish you the best health, of happiness, and success. Talking went quite well today, actually. Sometimes when I'm then just talking about something that I'm thinking about, then something it gets a little bit hard then, because I'm thinking about so many things, and then actually just trying to structure the sentence during the sentence, so in between the sentence actually, it is tough, it is tough, but I'm learning and I'm learning and I'm learning, and I'm going to be better and better and better, to the point where I'm just kind of proudly saying that I just speak like a native, which would be great. But yeah, I think I would definitely move to some English-speaking country afterwards, or just, when I can, I guess. I think I would just take the chance, I guess, because it's something that I'm interested in, at least for, 6 months or something, that I, might be just doing some internship at some company. If this was working, I don't know, or if this, if this was working. But yeah, but also I hope that you're going to remind yourself on how you're going to be remembered, so basically your legacy, because you have it in your hands, you have it in your control, it is something you control. Still, we can't serve everyone, you can't make everyone happy, and not everyone's going to like you. Like, it's just what it is. There are going to be some people that just don't like you by default, just because of very stupid reasons, or out of no reason actually. But yeah, I see you the next time. Thank you very much for listening and watching. I see you.